On this episode of the podcast, I'm going to talk about various beers, random jazz, and losing the boss. But the real question is, who's the boss? We'll get into that. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Luke Who's Talking podcast with me, Luke. I hope you're going all right out there. Hope everything's all right. Is it? Yeah? Awesome. Anyway, now let's get into the first story. So last week, it was last week, I was house sitting for somebody, and it was a good time. I enjoyed it. It was good to get out of this house somewhere else, and go through somebody else's drawers pretty much and see if they had any hidden cash in the house, which they did, which they didn't. I didn't go through any drawers, okay. But anyway, the person whose house it was, they called me like every day, asking, how's everything going? You got any thoughts, comments? How's it all going? I said, it's fine. I had to look after a couple of dogs, a cat, which was, I'm not a cat person, but I think me and the cat, we got on pretty well. Me and the cat got on pretty well. You put the food out, cat would eat it, and then it'd bugger off and you wouldn't see the cat for the rest of the day. So, pretty easy. Anyway, so now this person, they're like, I want to get you something for house sitting for us. I want to get you a gift. So on the phone, they're like, what do you want? And I don't really want anything. Well, true love, that's all I want. And what else do I want? Actually, a house, some property, a home of my own. There you go. That's two things I want. Anywho, and maybe a car, like a 360s vehicle just to cruise around in. There you go, three things I want. Anyway, I digress. So this person, they got me, they called my mum and said, what can I get Luke? And she said, whenever it's Christmas time or whatever, we always go to the bottle shop and I always get a various beer. I always try to get a different beer whenever I'm at the boozer. So I got a various array of beers. I got a couple of different varieties. So I got a Sol, which is a Mexican. So I got a Sol beer. I got a Shepherd Name and Co. Indian Pale Ale, which I actually think is brewed in England. There you go. I got a Franz Keine Vesbier Premium, pretty German, and a Lakem Premium Pils, also pretty German sort of stuff. So, I've had the Sol. I think the Frankines Vesbier I've put in the fridge. So I will be having that at some point. It's cool now, so I might have that tonight, actually, or tomorrow. Yeah, might crack that open tonight. Anyway, so I've got that. I had to Sol. Sol was pretty good. Sol went down pretty easy. Now, the Lakem Premium Pils has a interesting lid. It doesn't have a cap on it. It has like a hinged sort of plug thing on top. So the person who bought me the beers said, once you've had that one, can you give me that? Can you give me that bottle? Because it'd be good for if I have some sauce or something. So, just to be annoying and to be a twerp, I am going to make sure that's the last beer I have, and I'm just going to drag out that process, and just make it really long, and I'll be like, yeah. And they have a DVD. They have a DVD of mine as well, so I'll be like, give us my DVD, and my thumbstick to have a USB drive of mine as well. So I'll swap you for this bottle. That could work out well. Anyway, let's get into the next story. It's pretty jazzy. Now, have you, I guess, ever just been walking down the street and heard some music and you've looked around and you thought, where's that music coming from? Where's that music coming from? Well, the other day I was walking, I was going through town and I was walking down to my car. I'd parked down near the river because you can park there all day for nothing. There's no signs. And when you have to start work at 7 o'clock in the morning, you get there 6:30, there's a park, you can snag one. Anyway, there's a tip for anybody who wants to find a park in Lonnie. Anyway, I've doxed myself. Oh. Anyway, so I was walking back to my car, a little bit of a stroll to get back to the car, and I heard this music. It was jazz or a bit of sax playing, and I thought, who's blowing that sax? Where's that sax coming from? And I've sort of looked around. I thought, no, I can't see anybody here. And I thought, oh, I might be in the Civic Square. There's a bit of a what could you call it? Well, it's just a paved. Well, lights just dipped a bit. Then there's a bit of a paved area called Civic Square. So I thought, oh, maybe somebody is in there busking, which is very unusual. They're usually in the mall. And I got a bit closer, didn't see anybody. Anyway, so I was looking around and I looked up the side of a building. Now, the building has a name, but I'll just say people locally will know this building, and it is, how can I describe the building? The building is the ugliest building in the city. The building is a skid mark on the underpants of this city. It is disgusting. It is ugly. It's just like a big block of concrete. I'm sure in like 1970 they're like, oh, look how good this building is. Isn't this so modern? It looks like a pile of just, nah. If I was the chief of this city, my first role would be to put a bomb underneath it and blow it up and put something decent there. Put something that looks decent there. It's disgusting. Anyway, so I looked up and there was a guy on the side of the building cleaning it. He had his big pressure washer and he's cleaning it. And I thought, oh, look at that guy, sort of like abseiled off the side. I was like, oh, look at that guy, what a dude. And he had a Bluetooth speaker. I think it was a UE Boom. I'm pretty sure it was like a UE Boom. He had it sort of on the back of his belt, and he was playing the music. He had his jazz or his various music playing. I was like, this guy up there cleaning the building with his pressure washer, and he had a speaker on his pants, and the music was coming out of that. So like, look at that, what a guy. That's actually, I got to say, probably not a bad idea, but yeah, I was just very unexpected. I was walking along, where's that music coming from? Finally looked up, and there's a bloke hanging off the side of the building cleaning it, and he had a speaker on his DAX with the music coming out of it. So I thought, what a dude, what a guy. I was about to say, I wonder if he's actually allowed to do that. Well, he was doing it, so yeah, there you go, awesome. See, I really struggle. How can I wrap up stories? I don't know how. Let's move on. Now, the last story I've got here for you was once again on Friday. I'd finished work and I wanted to see the boss. So I was looking around the office for him and I was like, where's Steve? And somebody said to me, oh, I think he's gone to the bathroom anyway. So I was sort of blah, blah, blah. And I needed him to sign my timesheet for me. You know, I was walking around, didn't see him. So oh, righto. Anyway, so I was talking to a colleague and they're like, just put it on his desk. We'll go. So I put it on his desk, went downstairs, got out onto the street, walked up to the corner, and here he is, old Steve, waltzing down the road with a little bowl with like gelato or something in it. So he'd gone out and got himself an ice cream. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you know, up there, oh, where's Steve? Nobody's like, he just left. Nobody, I could have asked the receptionist maybe, but it's like, oh, nobody knows where he is. He'd gone up the road and got himself an ice cream. Gee, to be fair, it was about 30 degrees. That said, it wasn't that hot in the building. It wasn't that hot in the office. It was about, what time was it? And it was about 3. I reckon it was about 3 o'clock, 2:33. I was like, well, you know, where's he? Where's Steve? And I'm going to go get him to sign this. And went downstairs. No, he looked around the building. Don't know, where's Steve? Oh, I think he's gone here. Don't know where he is. No. So a colleague said, geez, let's go. Just go, you know, put it on his desk, which I did. Put my paperwork on his desk and got outside, got up to the corner here. He's strolling down the road with a gelato, a little bowl of ice cream. Like, oh, it's all right, isn't it? All right to be a skipper, and then you can just go get yourself an ice cream and come back. I need to get to the top. I don't know how, but I need to get to the top somehow. Then I could just go and buy an ice cream at, a random time. Well, that is it for this episode of the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. You can follow us on Twitter, L_Who's Talking. We're on the Facebook, so you can send us an email. And I'm also going to add, if I don't forget, the website link in the description as well. So you can hop onto the website and check us out there as well. Obviously, the website's very basic. It's just one of those generic sort of cookie cutter websites. But hey, hop on, give it a geezer. If you want to subscribe, all that jazz, share it around. Share the podcast with a friend. Share a podcast with a friend. I've got a goal this year. I want to get to 1,000 downloads on the podcast. I'm not sure where I'm at the moment. Last time I checked, I think it was about 400 or so. So hopefully by the end of the year, I can get to 1,000 downloads. So you listening and you then sharing the podcast with a friend will help me achieve that goal. And when I do achieve it, I'll give you a hug and I'll thank you personally. How's that? Pretty good, I reckon. Anyway, I'll catch you later.